everybody. Welcome to Tea Time. That's right. It's Monday night at 8 o'clock, and I'm glad you're tuning in. It's October 26th, and I'm going to talk about my weekend really, really quick because there wasn't really much to talk about. Unfortunately, though, on Friday, I lost a good friend, Ken Fagan, to COVID. So I want to just say out loud that my thoughts and prayers are with the family. I text them and was getting in touch with them on Friday about Ken. Ken was a big supporter of Bat Boy. As you know, I'm in Bat Boy, A Yankee Miracle. It's a traveling off-Broadway show, and Ken has been to the shows in Florida, and he came to the shows up here in New York. And I just want to say that I love you, Ken, and I'm going to miss you. And again, my thoughts and prayers are with the family. On Saturday, I didn't do too much, did some stuff around the house. Really no plans going on lately. And yesterday I kind of just prepared for this show. I'm very excited about it. My guest, I'm going to get to it. His name's Cyril DiPaggio. He is an actor. He's a writer. He's a producer. He's lived an incredible life thus far, and he tells it like it is. And he's bringing his own life story to the big screen and the small screen and every kind of screen out there for everyone to watch and enjoy. So please help me welcome. Hello, Cyril DiPaggio. How are you this evening from beautiful Miami? Nice.
How you doing?
Hi, Cyril. Thank you for joining me tonight. If people don't know about MobKing, they're definitely going to know about it tonight. And, I just want to start out by saying you're basically from Miami, right? You're originally from Miami?
I've lived in both places. I still live in both places. I have Miami and I live in Brooklyn.
Yes. Okay. Brooklyn boy too. And I know that, you've had a very interesting life and you've incorporated it a lot into the work that you've been doing as far as movies and shorts, and, you've had an incredible life and you're a survivor. And you recently ended up in a hospital and almost died. There's only a 12% survival rate with what you had. Can you explain to everybody exactly what you had that ate away your muscle and your body?
Yeah, I had diviculitis, I think it's called, or diviculosis or whatever, and then it was perforated or whatever. So it's something inside the intestines that everybody has over 40, and mine just happened to rupture one of the perforated diviculi.
Mm-hmm.
It ruptured, and I've never been to the hospital or nothing. I'm one of those guys that like, hey, nothing's wrong, and it was putting poison into my bloodstream over a course of a couple of weeks. And when I finally went into the hospital, I was in shock. I almost, they told my wife to notify my kids and everybody that I probably wasn't going to make it through the night.
Wow.
But I did. I had a surgery, and then septic shot came on the next day because of the surgery. And then they had us call everybody again saying I wasn't going to make it. Over 4.5 weeks, it completely ate, my muscle mass. I've lost 50 pounds. But I don't really know how I came back so fast, but I got it all back already in 2 months.
Well, I know you worked your ass off to do that, and you
I do work
pictures. You're working out twice a day, right? Morning and night.
Yeah.
And then something that I'm not able to do is eat a lot of food because I just look at it and I gain weight. So I know you wanted to put back some weight and that muscle mass, and kudos to you for doing it in 2 months. I know you wanted to give yourself 3 months, but you did it in 2 months. And you and I have communicated through text in the past, and I had told you that I myself have come very close to dying on more than one occasion, and it puts you in check. And I think that God has a plan. God has a plan for us because He don't want us yet. You know what I'm saying? And for what you're accomplishing right now in your life. We go through trials and tribulations. We all go through crap in life. And, you've walked through it, my friend. You have walked through it, and you've come out on the other side of it. A lot of people might know, might not know, that you've had a past, like we all have. And unfortunately, you were convicted and you served 20 years of a 27 sentence. And I think you served like, I think 6 or 7 years of that in solitary, but not consecutively. And I don't want to talk about it too much, but I just want people to know your backstory as to why you went to jail and when you got out.
Well, I might have known this, I might have known that. This happened and that happened, and I did the time, and here I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Well, you know what? Since you came out, you've totally changed your life around and you've been such an inspiration to a lot of people. When you were incarcerated, I think DreamWorks reached out to you or something about doing a movie of your life story. Is that how it all happened?
That was a long time ago too. That was back in 2004, and basically at that time I was looking at a release date of 2027. So I was like, what's the point of doing my life story? I'm not even halfway through it yet. You know,
Right.
so I didn't really pay that much attention. But towards the end of my sentence, I started thinking about putting stuff together, how I can come up with it, and make things happen. And I just got out and just decided I was going to do it, and I just happened to apparently be pretty good at it. So I got lucky there,
Yeah.
the right type of field
Right.
for a change,
Yeah.
and now I'm making history, I guess.
You are, because you came out with the MobKing, and it's based loosely on your life story. And I watched it, and I love it. And you've had other movies as well. You did MobKing. You're doing Silent Partners and Suitcase. You have such an abundance right now going on, and I know that you've also uh, um, entered all these movies into festivals, and I think you've won like 50 awards in 30 days or something.
Yeah.
I think that's a Guinness Book of World Record right there.
Well, the film fest people have said that they've never seen anything like it before. That I put in 4 projects and all 4 are winning in every category. I've swept 5 film festivals, the Vegas Movie Awards. Um, I don't even remember them all. The European Movie Awards, the one in India. I don't know. There's so many names of them, but
Yeah.
like one of them, I won all 4 categories. Best actor for all 4 of my films, best comedy. It's really kind of odd to me, to have it all happening like that. But
Yeah.
I guess it just resonates with the viewer, whatever the content is.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people I think are smitten and interested in mob theme stories. And if you talk to some Italians like myself, we all have them. Like I told you before the show, we shared a little something with you. But it's based on your life story, and how do you know what subjects you want to touch upon and what subjects you want to like leave alone, as far as how much you really
I think
want to
what
share,
I
from your
think what
life.
I think what people are liking about what content I produce is that my my life in general, what I went through and all I've been through, is not your stereotypical New York stuff that you've seen on TV, the iconic bullshit, this, that, and the third. I don't know. Am I allowed to cuss on here?
Yeah, you
Sorry.
can, curse on my show.
Sorry about that. But my main course of place of business and stuff that I've done and been around or may have done is South Florida, and it's different down here.
Right, right.
And I think what I present is, I'm a street guy. My whole life has been getting everything from the dirt. Everything I've earned, I've had to earn it, take it, whatever.
Yeah,
So, um, so I come with a different perspective than stereotypical bullshit that you might commonly see.
right.
People try to represent on film. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And I think that's the refreshing part about it. You know what I'm saying? I think that you
Yeah,
bring a different aspect to the table, and I think people are eating it up. I know that
yeah.
my dad, like I told you, I'm 100% Sicilian. There was only two ways. I was the oldest girl in the family, and there was only two ways to leave my house, and that was death or marriage. So I never got a chance to live on my own or do anything like that. My dad's very old school, and I remember him telling me, as a kid, because I know you're big on respect, and he used to say to me, "You don't have to love me, but you're gonna respect me." And
That's a
I
fact.
and respect is big, because the things that piss you off about people and lack of respect and showing thereof, I'm totally on the same page. I think because
Yeah.
school, and that's the way we were raised. The other thing is that my father always said, always pay cash for something, because credit cards are evil. And the thing about credit cards is, as far as I'm concerned, when they're charging 29% interest, they're like legalized loan sharks,
Right.
right?
Right. Yeah.
They,
Well, you got to understand something. The federal government, all throughout, its existence, at least in the last 100 years, they have to make somebody the bad guy in order to justify being the bad guy. So they want to take away any potential sources that you have from going outside their mechanisms of wanting your money and to stay inside your pocket. So
right,
they'll label a family or a person who is willing to give you money and just say, give me 10% back on this money, and you agree to it, then that's illegal. But it's okay for them to say, here, apply for this credit card, and we're going to charge you 25%, and it's not illegal. You
right,
see,
exactly.
as long as you stay in their system of corruption, then they're okay with it. But
Right,
if you go outside to the street, same thing with gambling. They do it with lottos. It's okay to bet with us. They do it with drugs. It's okay to buy weed from people we say it's okay that paid us to sell it. But if you do it anywhere else, we're going to slam you. And then if you're labeled as a gang, organized crime, or whatever, we're going to hit you with the RICO Act, which is totally unconstitutional.
right.
Makes you responsible for other people's actions.
Mm-hmm.
When you were
Yeah,
growing up, and they would say to you, "Oh, if Johnny jumps off a bridge, you going to jump off a bridge?" Well, guess what? RICO makes you responsible if Johnny jumps off the bridge.
yeah, and it's not fair, and it's not right. It really isn't, and it ruins lives. I have a friend of a friend who went away for Rico, and it's like he didn't do anything. He really didn't do anything. It's just you know it's that being with a friend who gets caught shoplifting, and you happen to be standing next to them. You know what I mean?
Well, look, I'm not going to say I didn't do anything. All right, I'm not, what the things I may have been involved in or used to be involved in or whatever the case is. The end of the story is my debt is paid to society, so it really doesn't matter anymore.
Absolutely.
But yeah, the case they had was a bunch of BS, but they couldn't get nothing else. So I look at it like karma. I know the things I could have went in for, but this is what got me. So it kind of balances the scales. I can't cry over it. I just got to get out and take off and do what I got to do.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's what I do now.
So when you did get out, obviously you wanted to see friends, you wanted to see family. Um, what did you do after that? Like, did you get like a really good haircut and go for a good meal? Like, what you want to do that you couldn't do?
Um, I got my iPhone and I recorded my first little MobKing segment.
Wow, really? So
Yeah,
were you starting
yeah,
to write it while you were on the inside? Were you starting to
yeah.
like put things together?
Yeah, when I was in work release, I was already promoting MobKing.
Right.
As soon as I got the ability to start reaching the outside world.
Okay. It's amazing. It's really amazing. I want to thank everyone for watching. I appreciate. Hi, Bruno. Bruno, thank you for tuning in. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Please like the show and share it. Listen, don't go away. Everyone, stay right there. We're going to take a really, really, really quick break, like 30 seconds, and we'll be right back with more with Zero. We'll be right back. Stay there. to go tonight?
Are you bored?
Oh my
Hold on tight. We're going to Coasters.
Coasters Tavern is located at 487 Newbridge Road in East Meadow. Their number's 516-557-2222.
Well, hi there, Teresa. It's John York from General Hospital. I am just checking in because apparently you have a great talk show called Tea Time on Strong Island TV. I want you to have continued great success and have a lot of fun. It sounds like you're having a lot of fun, and that's pretty much the key to everything, isn't it? So continued success. I'm proud of you. Have a great day, Teresa. Bye.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you to John York from General Hospital for that wonderful message. I appreciate it, John. Hopefully, I'll get you on my show one day. Also, want to announce that we're doing Bat Boy, a Yankee Miracle. We're going to be doing it November 7th, virtual, and I'll probably have more information for that next week as far as what time, so you could tune in. And listen, I'm excited because someone nominated me and my show, Tea Time, for the Best of Long Island. And, you know, I had wrote a post like, I need your support just like my bra, or I'm not a politician, but I need your votes. So the bottom line is now it becomes a popularity contest. There's 18 of us that are nominated for Best Podcast. So I have a 1 in 18 chance of winning. So what I'm going to ask everyone to do when you get a chance is to Google Best of Long Island, Bethpage 2021. Go to Arts and Entertainment, then go to Podcast, and then click on Tea Time and vote. Vote for my show, because if I win, it'll be the biggest coup on the planet, seriously. I'm excited that I'm nominated, and I'm so humble that I was. All right. Thanks, Bobby. I appreciate you putting up the flyer. I want to get back to Ciro DiPaggio. He's an actor. He's a writer. He's a producer. And he is telling his life story through a series called MobKing. And he also has other things going on as well. There's a pilot called Silent Partners, which is it's kind of based on the true life story of Gambino Captain Fat Dave Iacovetta. Is that the case, Ciro?
Iacovetta.
Iacovetta? I know I was going to say it wrong. Iacovetta. And tell me about the concept. Tell everyone about the concept of that movie, because I freaking love it.
Silent Partners is again loosely based on Fat Dave Iacovetta and my brother Dave Iacovetta. You know, I'm blood relative to the family, and you know, I was adopted from, you know, it's a long convoluted story, but in essence, you know, we decided to put a particular story that we were aware of that took place. It was kind of entertaining with this big insurance scam that took place in the 80s, and we just turned it into, you know, a nice little show.
I think it was genius. I think it was a very clever, genius concept. And I'm watching it, I'm going, it's freaking great. I love it. I want more. You know what I mean? That's what it is you leaving people wanting more. And that's the whole thing about it. Suitcase.
Yeah, it's got a great cast.
Yeah, great cast. Tell me who's in the cast of Silent Partners. Actually, two of my friends, right? Mike Marino's in it and Joe D'Onofrio's in it.
Yep. And we got Nick Vallelonga, who won the Academy Awards for Green Book. Mm-hmm. We got James Russo, you know, Donnie Brasco and Django Unchained and all that, over 150 films. Yeah. Gary Pastore played Matty the Horse on HBO's The Deuce. Mm-hmm. Ronnie Marmo, who was on General Hospital. Your friend John probably knows him.
Yeah.
He also does Lenny Bruce on Broadway, although they're off right now, off Broadway now. But because of COVID, you know, it's kind of screwing everything up. And Anthony Carone, a whole host of people.
Yeah.
A lot of big names.
Yeah, I love it. I watched Suitcasing, which is a comedy short. And It was an eye-opening experience. Basically,
Yeah.
is that the term that's used? Is suitcasing? Is that the term?
I mean, different states may have different terms, but what I'm familiar with in there and stuff is that's what we call the mules. They would suitcase stuff. So
Yes.
that's
And
the concept.
it's make money out the ass. And basically, if you want to
Pretty
smuggle
much.
anything into jail, it's got to come through your rear end, apparently. And,
Uh,
and
that's one of the ways,
yeah,
through
it's one of
work
the,
squads, stuff like that. I mean, suitcases is exactly. It's based on an exact true story. My name, Capo, and the guy Cowboy, and the guy Prescott was the mule. It all happened. There's a lot of people in that dorm with me that know that story. That are on my page and stuff like that.
yeah,
So I just pretty much take life experiences, and for some way between me and my guy partner here, Jokes, the one you were mentioning, Emmy award-winning Jokes,
joke,
does all my directing
yeah,
and stuff, and my writer, Jokes, James Bishop. Um, you know, we click on a level where I tell them my stories, and we're able to craft it and create it where it really resonates on screen. Just some pretty cool stuff. And at first when people were hearing that we were gonna, imply a birth and talk about a phone being a baby, it's a Samsung, and look, it has a camera eye. Everybody was a little like, what the hell is all that? But when we did it, it's won like 30 awards already. So it's killing it.
You know what it is too, is because of each of these projects having a little bit of you and a true story behind it. I think that's what makes it so intriguing. I mean, I know I'm a big fan of true stories. I will
Yeah.
make sure that I sit down and I want to watch it because I'm just so interested in true stories. I just am. And you also
Well, the MobKing and Silent Partners, they're based on my knowledge of experiences in those worlds. There's
right,
no there's no truth about anything that occurred. Yeah, there was an insurance scam. Yeah, there was this, but I just take liberties with it. But the truth of it comes with my knowledge of how things work on the street, and that's why it's resonating with people. Because when you watch, say, The Sopranos, which was a great show, it's very entertaining, but it only circled around a particular group, and it was the same thing every week. In
right,
Florida, in Miami, in particular, there's every type of organization that wise guys would have had to deal with back in the day, from Haitians to Cubans to gangs to this to that. There's everything down here. It's not your stereotypical, this is my block type thing. It was
right.
open territory. Everybody operated here. So, that hasn't been shown before, how it works, how it moves, how the ebb and flow of street life and organized crime goes. So I think that's what's catching on with people.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what's catching on with them. It's a different view, and it's something that they haven't seen before. And I think that's what you bring to see something that they haven't seen before, and it's so real and raw. And you also did Brass Knuckles, and that's about two very different brothers. What can you tell me about that? Because again, I watched what I can watch of it, and I was like, damn, I wish I got beat up in school all the time, and I had we got picked on back then. It wasn't called bullies, and I was a lover. I wasn't a fighter, but my sister, who they called Muscles back in the day, used to defend me. She would defend me, like, don't let me, do you know who her sister is? And, she'd like take care of me and watch over her big sister, because that wasn't me. And, but if I had someone, but I do remember my mother saying to me, if someone ever lays a hand on you, you hit them back, because you can't just stand there and take it. So tell
Well,
me more about
that's
Brass Knuckles, because I love that also.
well, that's written by Anthony Carone. You guys probably know him. You can Google him. He's a huge name. He's been in everything from Bad Boys 2, Into the Night, a whole bunch of stuff. And then Jokes. We had an idea. What we do is we create ideas. I create concepts or whatever. This one was actually those two creating it, and I was just helping along with the whole movement of it. I executive produced it, of course, but It's basically about two brothers who have diametrically opposite points of view on how something should be handled. He's really passive. My character's really aggressive.
Yeah.
Long story short, I basically give her a set of brass knuckles for this girl that's hassling her. And, you know, she clocks her at the end. You don't know whether she lives or die. We'll have to see if I do part 2. You know, so, but, you know, you got, what's funny is that you got everybody in the theater, like we've seen it premiere on big screens and stuff, and everybody in the theater is rooting for her to hit this girl with the brass knuckles. But then when you see what happens to the girl after the brass knuckles, all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, you know, so that's the dichotomy that one minute you're wanting the damage, but be careful what you wish for.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. That's like my mom. The first time my mom saw the movie Death Wish, remember that movie?
Yeah.
She was rooting for him to shoot those thugs in the subway, or like get them, so they can't hurt anybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's another great concept that you ran with. You're also in the movie Bound, which you play Lieutenant. Right?
Van Voss.
Voss, V-O-S-S, Voss, and you're a bondsman. You're a bondsman in that, and you have to. There's something going on with the Mexican cartel or something.
Well, it's right now it's just a proof of concept, and we're going to be shooting it actually in a couple weeks. You know, a 20-minute, 30-minute. You know, I do these proof of concepts, these little segments, whatever, standalone.
Can you explain to everyone what the proof of concept is, instead of like spending $4, $5, $6, $10 million on a whole feature? How you kind of like give out like little snippets and wanting people, to want more.
When I was getting involved, everybody was saying you had 3 years ago. They were all saying you got to do a sizzle reel, you got to do this, and then raise money for that. And my thought process was pretty simple. Why do I got to raise money and come up with $3 million and owe this joker $3 million if it doesn't work, when I can find out if it works or not?
Right.
And again, it's all about teaming up with the right people, who Jokes and Corona at the time. So we came up with the idea of, let's just shoot a 15-minute episode, and we put it on the web. For example, MobKing, we put it on the web. We shot it for like $50,000, and it blew up. It had like 200,000 views in the first week, and it's just taken off on its own. And we made 4 more episodes. And then we signed a $40 million deal to produce it overseas, which we tried to do, but, COVID has interrupted that. So I came back for a couple months, and hopefully we get to go back over there. Spain just locked down again.
Yeah.
But,
well, I'm glad you got out before that,
Yeah. So, but a lot of people think because we're filming in Spain, it's in Spanish and stuff, but it's not. We're filming it in Spain because of the business reasons behind it. Like if you spend this particular show is 12 guaranteed episodes, $5.5 million per episode. So they get back about $12 million of that money just from the government for filming in Spain.
Wow.
So there's a lot of tax incentives, a lot of reasons for doing that. Plus it's with a major streaming company, and it's worldwide, and it'll be in America and all of that. So, I'm a pretty big hit over there overseas already.
Yeah, you are.
With the media and stuff, and hasn't even aired yet.
And then you've had what? There's a total of 5 episodes or 6?
We reset the series when I was waiting to go to Spain, because I had been waiting for 2 years. So I was like, screw it, I'm just going to give the fans another episode because everybody wanted it. And that's the one that's winning in all the festivals, because obviously we're better filmmakers now than we were 3 years ago, and I'm a better actor and everything else, even though I got awards for the original series too. But it just was something we felt like doing, that if Spain wasn't going to come through, or they were going to keep delaying, we were just going to start running the new MobKing, Yeah. And so we filmed it over 3 days and released it, and it's been a smash. People love it.
Yeah. Now, when you're acting in the MobKing, do you have any kind of like surreal moments when you're in a moment that you might have experienced?
No.
And do you have any? I don't think you have any problem doing nude scenes either, right?
Now, apparently, my partners, producer partner wise, is they felt like, you got all this testosterone driven content for the men. You need to give something for the women. So I'm like, all right, what do you have in mind? And then next thing I know, I'm in the shower naked, in the second episode. But whatever. I mean, it's part of business. TV, to me, acting, I don't understand, the whole process behind how all these people look at acting. Because to me, they just say action and I do it and it's a wrap. You know what I mean? I do usually in one take. Everybody who works with me knows that that's what my reputation is at this point. I just got a good memory for the lines, and it just comes out. And however it comes out, I don't overthink it. The camera doesn't throw me off. It doesn't matter what's going on. When they say action, I just hit it.
Well,
so I'm fortunate with that regard.
That's the whole thing about acting, is to be authentic and to be in the moment.
Yeah.
You do it very well.
Thank you.
But you have another movie that you're working on or coming out called The Dance. And that's kind of like the total opposite of what you've been doing, because it's a romance, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what I'm working on right now is I want to be a content provider, for a streaming network or, something of that nature. And I have quite a few companies that I'm working deals with simultaneously. So I'm producing content to show these are the type of shows that I can come to the table with. Most people, being in the business, they'll be like, oh, I got a script. They don't realize that 99% of the people aren't going to read that script, even if they tell you to send it to them. They're just not going to. So it's a lot easier to have somebody push play. I always say, hey, push play. When you get done watching it, give me a call. If you like it, give me a call. If you don't, I don't hear from you, you don't like it. So I always get the call, So that's where I'm at. And the young lady that I'm doing that with, Catalina Batari, me and her were talking. She did another show with jokes, movie, Carolina. And, they were like, you guys should work together or whatever. And then I told her about my story, because it's basically about an older man, younger women. Most people think these younger women go after these men for money, and it's not even remotely close to that. A lot of the times they go for the older men because they treat them better, or they're more stable. They know how to make a woman feel like a woman. Because let's face it, women mature more than men at a younger age, And, when I was in my 20s, I was an idiot. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying all 20-year-old men are idiots, but,
Yeah.
A lot of them are. So anyway, it deals with that subject matter, and, the dance, you might think of, when you hear the title, that it's going to be some big dance or nothing, but the majority of it's filmed in an elevator that breaks down.
Wow. Very, very cool. And what about Turning Heel? Turning Heel is wrestling, has to do with wrestling, right? And you're working actually with someone from the wrestling world?
Yeah, the WWE star, former, he just left to be in the rap business. His name is Leo Rush. And we're going to have a lot of past, superstars and future superstars and current superstars. And turning heel is basically a term that they use where the character, if you ever watch wrestling, 1 minute they're the hero, the next you turn it on 6 months later, they're the arch enemy, the crowds hate them. That's turning heel. They basically switch out of that character at some point. So that was a name that Jokes came up with that's pretty clever. But I'm going to be doing that one too. I'm doing all that in November and December.
So now I know you were in Spain for, I think, about a year, right?
10 months. 10 months.
And then now you're back, and I know you're going to go back after the holidays, and hoping to resume whatever, you had to stop because of COVID. What were you doing right before COVID did hit? What were you in the middle of?
Well, no, I went over there and, we started the pre-production, and then COVID hit in March. I was there a month. So nobody knew how long it was going to take, obviously. So Spain had the hardest lockdown in the whole world. I think everybody knows that. Yeah. You couldn't even leave your house, your apartment for nothing. You can go to the grocery store, but you had to have a grocery bag. You had to have a receipt. The cops didn't allow nobody on the street. It was very draconian,
Yeah.
So we muscled through that. And then obviously I had the issue, the hospital. but I
Did you?
bounced back fast. So we weren't really delayed from that because we couldn't film because of COVID anyway. So it happened at a good time if it was going to happen. And we're getting ready to fire up again. And then this second wave, nonsense that everybody's talking about, I don't know, nonsense, not nonsense, but if you're trying to film something, it's nonsense. But
Yeah.
like your poor friend that passed away from it, I know there are people that are affected by it. So, I mean, I know I don't want to bring it home to my kids,
Well,
but
yeah, I mean, nobody does. I mean, and here in New York, we had different phases, and phase 4 was the last phase, and it had to deal with the entertainment industry. And right now, because on top of acting that I've been doing for years, I got into stand-up comedy in the early 90s. And I did it for a couple of years, and then I stopped when I had my daughter, and then I got back into comedy and improv, that kind of stuff, about 4 years ago. But right now, there are no comedy clubs open in New York. I know a lot of comics are going outside of New York. They're going to, Connecticut and New Jersey and Pennsylvania. But, they're grouping comedy clubs with karaoke and strip clubs. So as long as the strip clubs are closed, okay, and, I'm not on top of a patron giving them a lap dance. I'm on stage telling, potential funny stuff
yeah.
behind.
But what about if the girl giving a lap dance is also telling you a joke?
At the same time? I don't know. That's a good question. But the thing is, look, they opened up gyms, which is a potential hot box of germs, and they opened up bowling alleys, and where do you want to stick your 3 fingers? Okay, so the bottom line is that this COVID has affected everybody, and it's especially the entertainment industry. And because we're the last industry to return, a lot of people are hurting. They're hurting.
Yeah.
They're hurting, and they want to get back to what they love doing. And
Yeah.
so when things do open up, because now that they shut down Spain again, you have to wait for them to reopen in order for you to even get back in.
Well, I could have stayed, but I have these projects to do. I have a last surgery I have to take care of, and it was just a good opportunity to come. My studio head Pat Andrew agreed to let me do it because, let's face it, the more headlines I generate, the better it is when MobKing is released. And the funny thing about it is that I don't understand, where the enormous support comes from, to be honest with you. But I've been in 8,000 media publications in the last 3 months.
Wow.
Around the world. I'm really big in Asia for some reason, in India, and it's really kind of taken its a life of its own. And I haven't done anything. I mean, by my own self admission, I haven't done crap in the entertainment industry. I've done my own stuff, and yeah, I'm getting recognition from film festivals and critics and stuff like that. But in the end, if you don't know social media, who Cyril DePaggio is or MobKing, I'm just a regular freaking schmo, but I'm hitting. And so hopefully I start to get the money to hit too, and it'll be all right.
That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. I mean, that's what my husband tells me. He's like, it's nice that, because look, 4 years ago when I was in that hospital after I had brain surgery, I got rid of all the toxic people in my life, because toxic people cause stress, and stress shortens your life. And I don't need those type of people in my life. I want people who are loving and supportive, and that's who I want to surround myself with. And I said, I've been at this a long time, and I think it just, like you, God doesn't want us yet. We're here for a reason, and I don't want to knock on doors. I want to kick them in, because I'm not getting any younger. Let's face it. And I'm going to go down swinging. That's the bottom line. I can't give up on something that I'm so passionate about. And
the funny thing about it is that, at least in the entertainment business, I don't kick indoors. I don't do anything. I make my stuff and put it online. Like when I did MobKing, everybody was like, "Why are you putting it on for free?" I'm like, "Who the hell am I to charge to put something I did on?" You know what I mean? So by me doing it for free, got the people in the eyeballs. They gave me the deal, that's making me money and paying my bills right now, so I don't have to work. But
you did have to knock on doors in the beginning. You had to, knock on doors to put your team together and, who you wanted to work with and, who can support you and help you on this journey.
Yeah, I mean, I've been lucky with that too. They came to me, Anthony Carone was the first one to jump on board, and then he brought jokes, and it's just one of those things where you have a magic little trio of people that do great things together, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty creative guy, I'm glad that my stuff is resonating with people. I spend a lot of time generating goodwill with my fans and people who might be interested in me, because I'm a humble person. I don't ever think for a second that I deserve any of this. You know what I mean? So to me, if somebody wants an autograph, I'm going to give them an autograph, because, who the hell am I for you to want my autograph? So if you want it, I'm going to give it to you. I'll do whatever is necessary to make sure that I show you your appreciation for your interest in me and support, period.
Absolutely.
So I think that resonates with people too.
Yeah, it does. Because a lot of people in this industry get jaded. They forget where they came from. They don't stay humble. And I remember my mother telling me, you don't spit up because it's going to come back down.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's refreshing. What's refreshing about you is that, look, I only met you through Facebook, and we were conversing a little bit again through text, and and I'm blessed and I'm humbled that you said yes to take your time out to come join me tonight, because you could have told me no, but like I told you, my Italian father said you always ask, because it doesn't hurt. All a person could say is no.
Yeah, but you see what my response was from day one. Sure, no problem. I mean, you want to talk to me, I'll talk.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do appreciate it. And I want to thank everyone for watching and tuning in. I am with Cyril DiPaggio. Hello, everybody watching. Please like the show and share it. But you're an actor, you're a writer, a producer. You're making things happen. And I have a lot of friends who are actors like myself. I have a very good friend, Kristen Tinsley, who produces a lot of comedy shows. And she's a writer. She's an amazing writer. And, for people who want to do what you're doing, who do get discouraged, what can you tell them to try to, guide them? I mean, everyone's path is different, and what you did may not work for everyone else. Yeah. But, I know having a vision and a passion is, the start of it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like that there's no real mechanism to the science of why it happens to one person and doesn't happen to another, other than talent trumps everything. I think that if a particular group of people are talented, then the chances of it happening are going to happen. If like so many people say to me, did you used to act? Did you have actors lessons? And I'm like, no, why would I do that? But I can understand why some people would, because when I'm on set and I'm trying to get performances out of people, and they get like this certain type of freeze up when people say action. Like you could be talking to somebody now and rehearsing it. Oh yeah, everything's great. Okay, let's run it. Action, and then they try to act. And the worst thing an actor can ever do is try to act.
No, you can't.
It's got to be organic. So
Absolutely.
it's really, if everybody could do it, everybody would be doing it. That's pretty much it with that. As far as what would I say to somebody who's struggling to do it, or whatever the case may be, you're not going to know if you have that talent if you give up. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You're not going to know. So you have to do it. You write and you write. If it sucks, you can always rewrite. But you got to write, because if you don't put nothing down, or you don't start to make something happen, you're never going to know whether you got the goods or not, Yeah. So that's pretty much all there is to it. But in the end, you got to have the goods, or you're not going to get anywhere.
You have to have the goods. And what is, I think you mentioned OPM. What's OPM?
Other people's money.
Yeah. Okay. And
you can't do nothing. You can't do nothing in the TV business without money.
Amen.
So look, my father was alive for 43 days after I got out of prison. My mom died while I was in prison, and they left me a little bit of money, $70,000, $80,000, and I spent every last dime of it on MobKing. Every last dime. Mm-hmm. I didn't go spend it on other things. I sank it all in there. Everybody's telling me, "Are you crazy? Are you nuts? Or whatever?" But because I was able to do that, I was able to get a product that was able to get me a real investor. You know,
Right.
Barry J. Minoff invested in the MobKing, then invested in Silent Partners, and you know that's how it works. And a lot of people do not invest in themselves. And I always say to them, if you're not willing to invest in yourself, nobody else is going to. Because,
Right.
you
Right.
know, I totally maxed out my credit cards and spent all my money. And I could have been dead ass broke and with nothing, or I could be in a position where I am now where the horizon's looking really good.
Right.
So I'm a balls to the wall person, risk it all. That, you know, when you hear stories about people who have succeeded, you usually hear that story
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they believe in themselves so much. They don't need to hear other people tell them they're great. I don't need anyone to tell me that I'm good or great, or I don't live
No,
for that.
because you know you are.
Yeah, but I don't live for that, whether it's true or not. And I
Right.
don't think it is. I think that I have a lot of room to get better.
I
But
know.
you know, the fact of the matter is I'm having some relatively good success, and clearly, you know, by industry standards, I can act, and so I'm going to run with that. But I don't have an acting bug like everybody else has. I don't want to learn another person's character. I don't want to do all that. I like to create. So
Right.
I create things and create shows, and then I happen to star in those shows. But, you know, that's where I'm looking at going. I want to be a person behind the camera that makes stuff that, you know, not a director or anything. I want to be the guy who makes things come to life, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to happen because I'm getting a lot of offers to act now, and obviously it's hard to turn down, you know, $5 million for 90 days work or whatever. So, you know,
Yeah.
I can see where that would become a blurry line for me if it happens, you know, regularly. You know what I mean? So we'll see how it goes, but I'll do whatever I need to do to produce for my family legally.
Yeah. Legally. On that note, I don't want anyone to go away. I want you to stay right there because we're going to take another really, really quick break, and we'll be right back with Ciro DiPaggio. Don't go away.
So where do you want to go tonight?
Why don't we go to Coasters?
Oh, cool. I heard it's a great place. Let's check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Oh my God. Coasters Tavern is located at 487 New Bridge Road in East Meadow. Their number's 516-557-2222.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Tea Time. I'm so glad you're joining me tonight. Before I get back to my guest, I just want to remind you that my show, Tea Time, was nominated for Best of Long Island 2021 Bethpage. So what I'd like you to do is please support me like my bra, and I have to be a politician and ask for votes. Google Best of Long Island Bethpage 2021 and go do arts and entertainment and then hit podcast and then hit Tea Time and vote for me. You can actually vote every day from now to December 15th. And this would be huge if I do win. But I'm so blessed and honored that someone took the time out to nominate my show. So let's get back to Ciro DiPaggio. He's an actor, he's a writer, he's a producer. He's lived an amazing, incredible life. I think your life story is amazing. It's almost like you know, not that I'm going to compare you to Rocky, but it is kind of like a comeback kid kind of thing going on. I mean, you were in a dark place and you've coming back and you've conquered an illness that, you know, only 12% of people can do. And, you know, like, you know, I'm not overly religious person. I'm spiritual, and I believe that, like I said, that, you know, we have a purpose and that's why we're here. And now you're coming out into the light, and you have all these great things going on, and you have a great support system. And I just want to tell everybody, because this went very fast, and I can't wait to have you back on. And I'm so happy that you did say yes, because I know you were in Spain, and there's a 6-hour difference, and we were trying to get that together. And then once I saw you were coming back to the States, I was like, whenever you're available, because I know you're going to start filming again, and you're going to get busy, and you have another surgery, and you have a lot on your plate. So again, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining me tonight. I'm very blessed and lucky that you're with me.
I just want to say real quick that I disagree with you about having a great, blessed life. I think my life has been complete garbage until I was 50. I spent since 17 years old, I was under some type of surveillance, whether it be the FBI or cops or whatever, and then of course prison for 20 years. So my life has been shit. It's been nothing to be admired, so for those people out there who are thinking, young people who are thinking maybe that life is great or whatever, I mean, I had 5-6 years being on top, lots of money, lots of this, lots of that. It's not worth it. It's it's a horrible existence. Prison is terrible. Don't think it's cool, because it's not.
Right.
And maybe now I'm just, reaping the benefits of being on a better path.
Well, it's like at our age, we're not on this side of the hill. We're on this side of the hill. And I think that this side of the hill is going to be better than that side of the hill. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're in the second act of our lives. And, and your second act is abundantly better than your first act. And you're doing things differently. And I think that's what makes a difference. I think that, again, people are interested because you live such a incredible life, and you have the balls to tell it.
Yeah.
And
well, that I do. I mean, I don't hide anything. So
exactly. And we only have a couple of minutes left, Ciro, and I want people to be able to follow you and watch you. I know they could go to themobking.com. And you're also on Instagram.
Yep.
At Ciro DiPaggio, and
Facebook.
Also Facebook. And I know you do lives, and you try to keep everyone in the loop. And I think that, again, that's something, that they enjoy, following and watching and knowing what's coming next. And, is there anything else you want to say in this last minute before we go?
No, just, I thank you for having enough interest in me to want me to spend an hour with you. And
thank you.
Anything I can do to help you, I'll be more than happy to do.
Ciro, I appreciate that, because I think God puts certain people in your path for certain reasons. As you, and there's Lola, you have a beautiful, wonderful family. I just want to say that again. I'm just so happy that you said yes and you joined me tonight. And you could come back anytime you want and plug anything you have going on. But I want everyone to go to themobking.com. Look out for Silent Partners, Suitcasing, Brass Knuckles, Bound, the dance that's going to be coming up, Turning Heel. You got a lot of wrestling fans out there that I know they're going to love that too. So you keep being you and keep doing you. And, I only wish you all good things in the future.
Well, I appreciate it. I thank you. I don't think... I don't know that I hold people's interest enough for an hour long of talking, but, if you want me back sometime, I'm here.
Of course you do. Absolutely. Well, listen, I want to thank everyone for watching and tuning in. I'm going to share the show when it's over, because Facebook has changed its rules again. And then, I just want to thank you. Thank you again. And I'll, you'll be on my prayer list for your next operation. And I'm sure everything will go well. And, you're going to come back and kick ass. And I can't wait to watch.
I'll only be down 5 days.
That's it. That's nothing for you. You got that in the bag.
Yeah, that's nothing.
All right. Again, Ciro DiPaggio, thank you so much for joining me. And I hope we can talk and connect soon. Take care. Love to Lola and the family. Ciao, everybody. See you next week.
Ciao.